One of the things that my program does is we manage the National Winter Canola Variety Trial, and this variety trial was planted across the United States at approximately 60 different locations in around 25 or 26 different states annually. So basically any winter canola variety that's up and coming or has been released is entered into this trial. So we have a tremendous data set that we can use and analyze and hopefully help you make better management decisions on your farm, because we have several of these variety trials that are placed within the Southern Great Plains region. Looking at some of this data over the past approximately 15 or so years, if you plot that data out, on one of these slides that I have on my handout shows that we have about a 70 pound per acre increase in yield per year over the last 15 years. So we have a pretty good yield trend going on right now, and I think we can attribute that to improvements in winter survival, and then also the introduction of hybrids into our growing region. So when we're thinking about the winter canola varieties that we're planting on our farms, you want to consider planting either an OP or a hybrid. And when we think about hybrid winter canola, we already kind of talked about the seed size being larger. That's definitely one of the benefits of it. With a larger seed size, generally you get a more vigorous plant out of the soil in the fall. You want to be aware of that, though, because sometimes hybrids have a tendency to get a little bit growthy, and that in combination sometimes with poor winter survival will cause quite a bit of winter stand loss. So it's important to keep that in mind, that they can get fairly growthy. One of the things that Jay mentioned was water, and hybrids will really respond to having the right amount of water, and they'll also really thrive under full irrigation or deficit irrigation. One thing you want to consider with hybrids too is that you'll be paying more for the seed, and the reason you pay more for the seed is because the technologies that they use to create the hybrids are patented, so there's some technology fees that are associated with that seed. Hybrids tend to be a little bit less indeterminate than what the OPs are, and when you think about determinants, think about we have these really stressful conditions, and then the weather turns off all right, we get a cool down like we're experiencing now, and we get some rainfall. The hybrids tend to usually shut down after their first initial growth. What the OPs do, which are a little bit more indeterminate than the hybrids, sometimes the OPs tend to flower more after the conditions will turn from maybe drought to more ideal. We can see that as both a negative and a benefit to the OPs. I kind of see it as a benefit that some of these OPs that we're growing currently have what I call built-in tolerances to the stress conditions that we often experience here in the Southern Great Plains. Some of the benefits of open pollinated varieties, in addition to kind of their stress tolerance, is that the seed cost is going to be less than what it is for hybrids. For a Roundup Ready OP, you're going to pay about $5.25 a pound. For conventional, you're looking at $2 to $3 per pound. And the main difference between hybrids and OPs is just how they're developed. I think of the hybrids as being developed like you would develop hybrid corn. It's the same concept in developing those hybrids, where they plant a lot of what they call male sterile rows that are the receiving females, and they plant male rows throughout, and they cross-pollinate, and then they harvest the female rows, and that then is the hybrid seed that you will plant then on your farm the next year. I do want to mention that we do have varieties that are available for you. All of our varieties are conventional, and there are two that I'm sure you're familiar with, Wichita and Sumner. They've been grown for quite some time now here in the Southern Great Plains. Wichita we kind of use as the benchmark for winter canola varieties planted all over the U.S. and especially here in the Southern Great Plains. It was really one of the first winter canola varieties that was introduced that is truly adapted to the Southern Great Plains. So it's a great benchmark for the other varieties that we grow. Sumner is our SU carryover tolerant variety, so similar to what our industry reps have said about the CERT technology, that stands the same for Sumner. We also have a new winter canola variety that was released in 2010 called Riley, and currently Johnston Seed is doing an increase of that variety for us. What I really like about Riley is it has excellent yield potential and also excellent stress tolerance. From what I've seen through the data that I've collected, Riley tends to do really well in some of the lower yielding environments and has tended to have been better yielding than what Wichita and some of these other commercial varieties has been. Just has a lot of built-in stress tolerance in that variety. One of the other premises for Riley's release was its high oil content. We're really trying to raise the level of the oil produced in our varieties in my program. 40% oil is really the target, and Riley is right on target with that 40% oil benchmark. If you look at data across locations through the Southern Great Plains, generally the canola varieties that we are growing are around 37 to 39% oil. And I think with time that's going to continue to increase as we improve our varieties. And I think as we move forward with winter canola in the Southern Great Plains and we get more established, our crushing facilities like PCOM and ADM are really going to be pushing for oil content, because when it all comes down to the bottom line, that's what they want. They want the oil so they can market that. So that's one of the premises for Riley's release, and I think it makes a really excellent product for this region.